Hello everyone and welcome back to Forza for some more races. This isn't quite versus community. Alex did a stream on Friday and joined for some of the races. So this is the highlights from that stream. We're starting off with a Janetta Junior race here at Silverstone National, starting in 16th place. Bit of a slow getaway for everyone due to the nature of the cars, but as we head through turn 1, it's all bunching up flat out through Cobb's Corner, and we're going nearly 3 wide as we head towards Maggots. All clumped up in front of us. We're trying to look around, see where the gap is. We look to the inside. A couple of people getting caught up on the outside. That's going to get us 4 positions up to P12 as we head on to the Wellington Straight now, picking up the slipstream from the cars in front. The race will die down for a little bit as we jump forward to lap 3 now, before things ultimately started bunching up again. We have Blakey running a little bit wide through Luffield into Brooklands. We try and sneak up the inside of Eddie here as we head to Woodcock, but running such tight lines slightly compromises our exit. Not as compromised though as Ewan's exit was. We managed to just pull alongside, find the gap on the inside. It'll be side by side as we head down to Cobb's Corner now. Try and hold on the inside with cars in front. Can't quite go too aggressive, but we hold it side by side. It'll still be side by side as we head down to Maggots. Now a couple of cars bunching up in front as they go side by side for P8. We're going to hold the inside line. Can't quite go as aggressive as we'd like to, getting our momentum hindered by the yellow cars. We see a car running wide, and unfortunately that loss of momentum has allowed Ewan to pull away and for Glisker to come up alongside us as we head down the Wellington Straight. Already over halfway through the race. Good try and fend round the outside. Don't quite have the grip for it, but we're going to try and sneak our nose back up the inside for Brooklands. Unfortunately, just having to wait a little bit there behind Ewan on the tight line again, but we've got good traction and an alright of an exit, but unfortunately Glisker just has a little bit more momentum than us. We do have a little bit of a better run than you, and slight tap on the rear bumper, unfortunately slightly hindering our momentum, but we're still enough just to get our nose up the inside as we head to Cobb's Corner. It's 3 wide into Cobb's. Glisker running very wide. We're able to get both Ewan and Glisker from that. We are now still 3 wide as we look back as they head down to Maggots now. That allowed us to get a little clear as we look to hunt down the pack ahead, closing on the top 10 as we jump to the penultimate lap now into Luffield and Brooklands, side by side between Shadow and Rusky here, just slowing themselves down, also getting held up by the cars in front. We're trying to look for a way through. Unfortunately, no gap for us yet as we now head through Woodcock Corner up to start the final lap. A little bit of grass there from Shadow on the inside of Woodcock, completely non-existent in real life, thanks Forza. But as we head to Cobbs, unfortunately they just string back out into single file. Unfortunately not compromising each other, running side by side. Bit of a poor run from Rusky though, that'll allow Shadow to pull up alongside, and they will be side by side as they head into Maggots. We're trying to think where the gap will be. Just be a little bit cautious on the entry to Maggots, see if we can carry more momentum through the corner, get a better exit, and ultimately try and find a bit of a gap. Unfortunately, while we've closed in, we haven't quite found the gap to get alongside. Starting to come under pressure from the cars in front, looking to the inside. Not only think about making a move to get past the cars in front of us, but also trying to think about defending from Glisker as we head into the braking zone for Luffield up the inside of Shadow. He's run quite wide. Glisker following us through now, looking to see if we can find a way to get past Rusky. Looking to the outside, can't quite make a stick. Glisker gets to her inside, but there's a massive snap on the curb, and that allows Shadow to get back to their inside. Unfortunately, us running the long way has allowed Shadow to nearly get back past us, but it's going to be a drag race up to the line through Woodcock, but it looks like we've just got enough momentum to hold on to a top 10 finish in today's first race. A bit of a slow burner for the start of the race, but came good, and a close finish there, just about half a tenth, covering me and Shadow across the finish line. making up 6 positions, so you could say a decent race. Next race, we're gonna go to Indianapolis for a variable weather race with 10 times tire wear. That is the max tire wear in Forza. It's a bit of a per getaway, of course. The Mazda is geared for a rolling start, so a bit of a per getaway from everyone, but an even per getaway from us. We pull over to sort of squeeze you into the outside, then go a little bit defensive against Nine Tails, taking it cautiously into turn 1, making sure we don't spearhead the back of someone. Kind of cutting turn 1 a little bit. It's a bit hard to see the apex curb in these weather conditions. Fortunately, losing out to Ewan, still holding side by side, trying to throw it back up the inside of Ewan into turn 4 now. Unfortunately, not able to carry the momentum as we're side by side with Nine Tails through the chicane. Bit of rubbing up in front. Stevie cutting the chicane, and fortunately coming on right in front of us. We have no choice but to hit his rear bumper, try and push him along as we lose a couple of positions to Liam, and Nine Tails coming under threat from Impega, try and break to the inside to defend our position. Stevie a little bit deep, will get that get an overtake there on Stevie as we head through this little section, slightly cutting left-hander there across the grass, unsettling the car with the curbs just being a little bit higher than they are in real life. That allows Stevie to get to our outside through the right-hander, and we'll be side by side as we come back onto the oval, heading towards the final chicane section. Also, we won't apologise for the little audio artifacts. Don't know where they made their way into the video, but we'll have to deal with that. Stevie running the momentum round our outside as we sneak back to the inside, just trying to cover off the inside from any more attacks. Stevie, a bit of a per run out of the penultimate corner. We'll try and go to the outside through the final corner, and we'll have the momentum to do so. Stevie just caught on the inside, and we'll get the move done for now as we head down start finish straight, just pulling clear of Stevie as we'll jump forward halfway round lap 2 on the back straight, braking for the left-hander and just missing our braking point. Not able to pull the car up, running onto the grass. Not the only one though, it looks like Nine Tails also making the same mistake. We'll have to cut across the grass and into the chicane, making sure to make a safe rejoin, avoid the racing line, and that'll drop us down to 17th as Ollie and Rusky are the last cars to pass us. Let's head back on to the oval. We're looking to the inside of Rusky's and think about if we can maybe make a repass. In fact, Rusky goes for a dive on Ollie, doesn't quite get the move done, and it's Ollie gets to come back, and we go for an aggressive dive up to the inside of the penultimate corner. Ultimately, it's too tight of a line and we don't quite make it work. We lose another position to Valentin with such a poor exit, but Valentin getting held up a little bit by Rusky through the final corner. We're able to carry a little bit more momentum in the slipstream. Now we're closing as we head down, start finish straight up towards turn 1. Will we think of a move? We move to the inside, just getting our nose to the inside, brake a bit later to get the car to the inside, coming off the brakes to make sure we get fully alongside, squeeze to the inside, have no choice but to cut the turn 1 curb. A little bit of a rubbing on the exit of turn 2, but we'll have the inside here for turns 3 and 4, getting a little bit of assistance from Shadow in the rear bumper, forcing us a little bit wide, but we'll just be able to hold on to the positions. We foul through the chicane, single foul through that chicane. As you can see, Chris having an issue there, firing into the right hand side tyre wall. But single foul through the chicane, Shadow having to bumper, rear bumper, braking a little bit earlier this time into this left-hander, making sure not to run wide onto the grass this time. Still running a little bit deep, but Shadow not quite able to get a cutback as we head through this right-left chicane, making our way back towards the oval. Shadow looking to the outside as we just slightly cut that right-hander a little bit too much, but what they do in real life to hold on to position. We skip forward now to lap 4, heading down this back straight. Sky is brightening up, weather looks to be, rain looks to be like easing up, I should say. But tyre wear, of course, starting to progress in Deg as we give a bit of a bump from Shadow into this right-hander, pushing us wide allowing him to get to the inside. Bit dirty there from Shadow, but we're going to have to try and fend this off on the outside as we head into the right-hander. We're going to be a little cautious on the brakes to try and get a cut back, and we'll make sure we make our feelings known. Squeezing Shadow on the outside and just pulling in front of the left-hander. Shadow still trying to push their way down the inside, but we'll have the outside of this final corner. We'll make sure to squeeze Shadow on the outside, pushing them towards the grass, which will ruin their momentum down the start-finish straight, not allowing them to get any slipstreams. You see, already have a car going into the pit lane though. Shadow still getting a good slipstream here. We'll pull back alongside us, moves to the inside despite us running a little bit defensive. We'll send it down the inside. We try and make a cut back, look to the outside turn 2, not quite far enough there, so we try and just get the bar exit from turn 2. Think, can we make a move through 3 into 4? Not quite. Shadow going a little bit defensive, so we'll have to follow them through there, but can we maybe get a around, get a slipstream through the chicane down towards the left-hander at the end here. We pull into the slipstream, starting to gain now. We're going to the inside. Shadow offering no defence, so it'll be a battle on the brakes into the left-hander. We're slightly later on the brakes than Shadow, but pull the car up to prevent any cutback and able to hold on to P15. So we see Blakey there running wide onto the grass, having to cut the chicane. A little bit of a mistake through the curb. It's just our parking the car in front of Shadow, who hits our rear bumper again this time, but we're able to cover off the inside as we head back onto the oval. Shadow still having a look to the outside, not able to quite pull alongside, but will still hold defensive in the braking zone. Shadow going for a cutback, but will again hold the inside into the penultimate corner here. So we see first some more cars going for pit lane, maybe trying to cover off the car that pitted last lap, and with that that gives us a bit freer to push as we come up to Steve now. Really struggling with tyre wear. Looks like they're racing on keyboard, which would explain their tyre wear struggles. So we're able to get that position from Stevie as we head through the final few corners. Let's see how many people pit again on this lap. It looks like nearly everyone is pitting except for one car there. See one car just continuing on, risking staying out. We decided that we'll follow too. We weren't in a great position, down in 15th and 16th before the pit stops, so we decided to stay out, run the gamble, see if we can make the final 2 laps on the wet tyres. You can see Ninetails is the car in front of us that hasn't pitted as well. They're 7 seconds up the road, so we won't be catching them. Ultimately, we're just trying to run the fastest race we can without pitting here to the end of the race to see how many people we can stay in front of running P2 as we head through the first couple of corners. Just looking to the top left to see what is the gap to the cars behind. So they come out of the pit lane, it'll be about a 17-second gap we have to try and hold on to for these final couple of laps. Let's skip now to the start of the final lap. The gaps come down to about 10 seconds. Tires are practically gone at this point, as the track also drying up. Everyone else has switched to slick tires for these final few laps. As the track is drying up, they'll only be getting faster as the track does so, as we'll be getting slower, struggling more on the wet tires. They'll be overheating more as the track continues to dry, and they are horribly worn. You can see in the bottom right the bars completely disappeared, as we were already on 60% as the at the start of the penultimate lap, so tires well above 70% into that part where they're falling off the cliff now. So we're just trying to survive cautiously on the brakes, not trying to, just making sure we don't lose any excess time from a mistake, just trying to drive the car to its limit. It may not look like it, but this is the limit of the car with the grip from these tires, just fighting to hold on. Gaps now down to 2 seconds with just a few corners to go, 1.5 seconds, as Liam is the first of the cars to close up to us. Again, cautiously on the brakes, just trying to not make a mistake, not run deep and wide onto the grass as we head to the penultimate corner. Liam will get to her inside of the penultimate corner, trying to hang on to us now. Second place, we run wide, of course, not having any grip. Allows 3 cars down the inside, falling down to 5th. Glisker and Alex will get to the inside through the final corner as well. But Ewan, a few seconds back now, will not be close enough to take advantage and will take P7 across the line. A great strategy decision to not pay at the end. And it was clearly the right decision. Ninetales winning the race by 8 seconds in the end. With the same strategy call. So we ultimately in the race still gained 1 position from our starting position, but could 7 or 8 positions gained from before the pit stops ran through. For our final race today, we are here at Brands Hatch GP in the Ferrari Challenge, the 488, as we are starting from P10 heading into turn 1 on the outside. We kind of give up the position initially to Stevie, but as we head into Jurds, we try and fight back on the outside, not able to quite make it work, getting held up by Valentin running slightly wide on the exit. That allows Chris pass into P10 on the exit of the left hander here. We're good, trying to get to the inside, make a bit of a dive. Stevie a bit cautiously, giving him a slight tag. Valentin on the outside, bit of contact between a couple of cars. That sends Valentin into the outside wall, unfortunately, but just getting a little bit messy with how tight the Brands Hatch GP circuit is with these Ferrari Challenge cars. Very fast, these cars, not a lot of downforce. Ewan getting a good cut back on us through Hawthorns, dumping us back down to P10. Stevie getting a bit of a poor run through this right-hander. Ewan checks up, doesn't go for a pass, so we try and have a look to the inside of the fast right-hander, think better of it and back out, now having to defend from Ninetales into this left-hander. A little bit on the grass through that left-hander there as we head out of the penultimate corner now to the final corner, just holding a slightly defensive line as a few cars come together in the final corner there. That's Glisker sliding off into the gravel. That's going to promote us into P8 as we head on to start the second lap. Ninetales having a little look to our inside through here, but we're able to just fend it off, heading up to Jurds. Now once again, Ewan goes to the inside, makes a good move on Stevie there. Stevie unable to sound Ewan, though running wide on the exit, running onto the grass. I'll allow Stevie to get back through as Blakey's made a mistake, has gone to ghost mode and loses a few positions as they come out. We'll get to their inside, and we'll also have a look to Stevie. Stevie seems to be struggling a little bit this race, a little bit cautiously, not quite getting to grips with the car, so we'll try and get a move here for P6. They'll be neck and neck as we make the run down and up into Hawthorns, getting a bit of slipstream off of Ewan to try and help us, but not able to quite get the move done until the braking, and around the outside we go of Stevie into Hawthorns, getting the move done there now as we head round the GP loop. Following Ewan, thinking maybe can we get a move back on Ewan after they got that good cutback. Bit of a mistake there from Ewan, running a little bit deep, gets a poor exit, so we look to the inside for the penultimate corner. Missed a gear shift there, which ruined our momentum, not able to quite get enough far enough alongside, allows Ewan to keep the position for now. But as we head through the final corner, still pushing to try and make the move, but Ewan just starting to pull away a little bit, so we'll cut forward a couple of laps. Ewan now just entering pit lane there. He was on a softer set of tyres. We're on the hard tyres, as you can see in the bottom right. Ewan was on either the mediums or the softs, had to pit at the end of lap 3 as we're closing up to Ollie now, who appears to be struggling. Ollie made a mistake a couple of laps ago that we cut out that dropped him back from the lead. You would have noticed in the top left earlier on. We get a little bump from Liam. From that we bump Ollie a little bit, as Ollie a little bit wide. We try and hold it round the outside to try and get a move done here. Round the outside, just run a little bit wide onto the grass, and that's going to lose us place to Liam as well. Longbow now closing in on us, but it's just a bit too far back to capitalise on our mistake. As we see Liam now putting a lot of pressure on Ollie, both me and Liam running a little bit wide onto the grass out of Hawthorns. But as we head now, you can see we're just getting around 40% now as we're heading towards the end of lap 4. Car sliding wide through the quick right-hander promotes us up to P5 now, and Ollie's starting to struggle quite a bit. Is defending as we head towards the final corner. Liam's to the outside. We're going to try and look to the outside as well. Maybe follow Ollie through. It looks like current front Ollie and Ollie themselves. No, Ollie not quite heading to pit lane. Another car behind us heading to pit lane. But we're going for the outside for the first corner. We're going to get the move done under braking for turn 1. Getting us up into P3 for now as we head on to lap 5 round the GP loop. It looks like Liam now starting to struggle with his tyres. He's giving us an opportunity here. We try and get to the inside of the quick right-hander. It's going to be side by side through the quick right-hander. That's going to give Liam the inside for the penultimate corner. We squeeze him to the apex, ultimately allowing us to get the move done and get us up into P2. Tyres so starting to our now 3 laps. With 3 laps to go in the race, so we decide to take to pit lane along with the leader and Liam following us in as well. So as we head to pit exit now, we've taken on a set of soft tyres for the remaining 3 laps of the race. We've slotted out just in P7, just losing out to Absol, but on the fresh set of soft tyres, we know we won't go aggressive. We look to the inside of Jurds, trying to make a move nice and quickly. We know podium maybe on here, but we've got to make moves. Of course, the cars in front of us pitted a little bit earlier. They may be on a harder set of tyres. Chris, though, still yet to make a pit stop. Made a mistake out of the left-hander spinning off of the grass. But Liam, now with the new set of tyres, is very aggressive. Seems to have a little bit more pace than us. Gets a little bit of a run on us out of the left-handers. We make our way to Hawthorns. Is able to nearly pull ahead completely on the straight, and we'll get the move done under braking. Ultimately, we let Liam go, as fighting Liam will not help us our progress up further ahead. I believe a car made a mistake that allowed us to get into P4, or maybe made a late pit stop. I think it was a mistake, but now catching up to Ewan on his older, harder tyres, able to get a run out of the penultimate corner. A bit of a cutback gives us the outside for the final corner, and we'll make the move stick round the outside of the final corner there as we head on to the final lap. Ultimately, we close in a little bit on the leader and about hold the gap to them on the final lap as the tyres start to drop off, but it won't be enough. We'll sell for P3. So you can see tyres approaching 70% as we finish the race. And if our tyre wear was good at the first race, it was probably a little bit better, and first stint I should say, it was probably a little bit better there and helping us close in a little bit at the end of that race. But P3, good race from starting P10, had to contend with traffic. Liam up 16 places, starting 18th, also a good race from them, making good gains on the leader who only started P3. So you could definitely say a good race that was. However, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow for more versus the community. Until then, goodbye.